Did you know that the fall of Rome wasn't just about invaders? The Roman Empire's wealth was rapidly depleted through relentless military campaigns. Each conquest came at a staggering cost, with vast sums spent on weapons, soldiers' pay, and infrastructure. As the empire expanded, so did its debt, leading to severe financial strain. Inflation ravaged the economy, devaluing Rome's currency so dramatically that by the 3rd century AD, it took thousands of coins to buy what once cost just one. This economic hemorrhage undermined public confidence in the state and contributed significantly to the empire's eventual collapse. Rome's vast empire stretched military resources too thin, making it vulnerable. The professional legions were gradually replaced by mercenaries, a risky strategy that weakened the defense. As Rome's borders expanded, its ability to maintain control diminished. In the late 3rd century, the army became increasingly reliant on foreign troops, many of whom had no loyalty to Rome. This overstretch created divisions and conflicts within the ranks, undermining discipline and unity. The result was a military force that struggled against external threats, setting the stage for decline. By the 5th century, as hordes like the Visigoths and Vandals pushed into Roman territories, the fragmented and disunited army could not hold back the tide of invasion. In the 3rd century, the Roman Empire saw frequent changes in leadership, with 26 emperors coming and going within just 3 decades. This political instability was a stark departure from earlier periods of stability under Augustus and Trajan. Amidst this chaos, some emperors ruled for as little as 2 months before being assassinated or deposed. The Senate often played a crucial role in these coups d'état, reflecting the empire's internal power struggles and decay. As imperial authority faltered, Rome faced challenges from barbarian invasions, economic troubles, and military overextension, all contributing to the empire's eventual fragmentation into separate eastern and western halves. Plagues decimated Roman populations, with the Antonine Plague alone wiping out millions. As cities struggled, infrastructure decayed, once majestic aqueducts fell into disrepair. Citizens faced water shortages and crumbling roads. The city of Rome itself became a shadow of its former glory, its grandeur marred by urban neglect. In the Forum, ancient stone arches crumbled under years of abandonment, while streets lined with decaying buildings spoke of a civilization in decline. These signs of decay were not just aesthetic. They symbolized the broader societal collapse that would eventually lead to Rome's fall. The once thriving metropolis was reduced to ruins, its grandeur replaced by a bleak urban landscape. The spread of Christianity posed a profound challenge to the traditional Roman pantheon, as people began to question their allegiance to the gods of Jupiter and Mars. Temples like the Pantheon fell into disrepair while new churches sprang up, symbolizing this dramatic shift in religious devotion. This newfound faith impacted societal values, eroding the loyalty once bound by family and state to a cult of personal piety centered around Christ. As citizens turned their hearts from polytheism to monotheism, the very fabric of Roman society was transformed, setting the stage for its eventual decline as traditional loyalties waned and new ones emerged. In the twilight of its power, Rome often allied with barbarian tribes, viewing them as strategic partners against larger threats. But these alliances proved fickle. Betrayal became a common thread. For instance, in 451 AD, the Visigoths joined Romans to defeat Attila's Huns, but just 6 years later, the Visigoths sacked Rome itself. This partnership-turned-treachery illustrated how trust between Rome and its barbarian allies was as fragile as sand castles on a windy beach. As Rome faltered, these once loyal tribes saw their chance to claim their share of the empire's wealth and glory. In the waning days of the Roman Empire, eunuchs like Eutropius wielded immense political power. Their ability to serve as imperial chamberlains and advisors allowed them to influence key decisions, often behind closed doors. Meanwhile, women exerted significant influence over emperors through personal relationships and family connections. For instance, Julia Domna, the wife of Emperor Septimius Severus, was a powerful figure known for her intelligence and political acumen, shaping policies that benefited both Rome and its provinces. These hidden forces of power, often overlooked by history, demonstrate how the fall of an empire could be as much about internal corruption as external threats. In the late Roman Empire, a stark decline in education among the elite was observed. As wealth and power shifted away from traditional aristocratic families, their interest in classical education waned. Once renowned for scholars like Cicero and Virgil, noble households increasingly neglected studies of Latin, Greek, and philosophy. The once thriving libraries of Rome sat empty as books were sold or destroyed. This intellectual decay was a pivotal factor, weakening societal cohesion and leaving the empire vulnerable to external threats. The decline in literacy meant fewer could read and write, hampering record-keeping and governance. As knowledge of history, law, and science diminished, the fabric of Roman society began to unravel. As the Roman Empire expanded, agricultural productivity began to decline due to overexploitation of land and environmental degradation. Fertile soils were depleted, leading to reduced crop yields. This was exacerbated by deforestation for agriculture and urban expansion, resulting in soil erosion. The loss of arable land meant that food shortages became more frequent, with severe famines striking regions like Italy during the 3rd century. These events underscored the fragility of Rome's breadbasket provinces, such as Egypt, which supplied grain to the capital. The combination of declining agriculture and recurring famines weakened the empire's ability to support its vast population and military, contributing significantly to its eventual fall. The disparity between the wealthy and poor in ancient Rome grew exponentially, with the lower classes suffering significantly as urban decay took its toll. The once grand forums and baths now lay in ruin, their marble columns crumbling under the weight of years. Meanwhile, the rich flaunted their opulent villas adorned with intricate mosaics, while the poor struggled to find food and shelter amidst the debris-strewn streets. This stark contrast not only fueled social unrest, but also weakened the empire's cohesion from within. Emperor Commodus's reign was marked by unprecedented excesses, transforming the Roman Forum ruins into a lavish amphitheater where he showcased his wrestling skills and staged gladiatorial games. His extravagance drained the treasury, setting the stage for instability. As the Nerva Antonine dynasty declined, the empire faced increasingly dire challenges. The once mighty Antonine Wall in modern Scotland crumbled under these pressures, symbolizing the weakening of Rome's northern frontier. This era was characterized by a series of weak emperors like Pertinax and Didius Julianus, whose brief reigns were marred by civil wars and public discontent, eventually leading to the chaotic year of the 5 emperors in 193 AD. Under Theodosius I, the empire's decline was palpable. He faced constant threats from barbarian invasions and internal strife. As religious conflicts intensified, Christianity's influence grew, leading to the Edict of Thessalonica, which declared Nicene Christianity as the sole state religion. This decision alienated pagans and fueled tensions that weakened societal cohesion. Theodosius's reign marked a pivotal shift towards monotheism, setting the stage for future power struggles within the empire's fractured fabric. The transfer of the capital to Constantinople in 330 AD marked a pivotal shift in history, as Emperor Constantine moved the empire's center from Rome to Byzantium, renaming it Constantinople. This city became a symbol of Eastern influence and wealth, with its magnificence overshadowing the declining Roman West. As Constantinople grew, so did the East's cultural and economic sway over Rome, transforming the Mediterranean into an avenue for Eastern spices, silk, and knowledge, which began to erode Rome's traditional dominance. By the 5th century, the city's strategic importance and prosperity had a profound impact on the empire's fate, setting the stage for its eventual fall in 1453, when Constantinople was captured by the Ottoman Turks. In the late 5th century, Theodosius Roman II ruled Constantinople with an iron fist, while Zeno, his co-emperor, struggled from Ravenna. As the Western Roman Empire crumbled under barbarian invasions, Zeno sought to restore order but faced constant rebellion and intrigue within his own eastern territories. His empire was a patchwork of factions, each vying for power in the waning days of imperial Rome. In 476 AD, Odoacer, an Italian barbarian leader, seizes power and becomes the first king of Italy, marking the end of the Western Roman Empire. As Rome's once unyielding authority crumbles, Odoacer consolidates control by ousting Emperor Romulus Augustus, sending a symbolic golden crown to his eastern counterpart in Constantinople. This revolution marks a pivotal shift from imperial rule to regional kingship, signaling an era of new political dynamics where the old order gives way to a fragmented landscape of barbarian kingdoms and emerging powers. The fall is not just a change in rulers, but a profound transformation of power structures that reshapes Europe's destiny. The Eastern Roman Empire, centered in Constantinople, survived the fall of its Western counterpart and continued as an influential power. For centuries, it faced relentless conflicts with Persians, often engaging in brutal sieges that tested their resilience. These battles left a legacy of monumental fortifications like the Theodosian walls, which were designed to repel invaders. Despite these ongoing wars, the empire maintained its cultural and economic might through strategic alliances and resource management, ensuring that the legacy of Roman governance endured well into the medieval period. The fall of the Roman Empire left an indelible mark on medieval Europe, where its legal traditions were preserved and adapted. The Justinian Code, for instance, became the blueprint for European law, influencing everything from property rights to contract law. Imagine a historian meticulously scribing these laws into leather-bound volumes, their ink drying under the dim light of candle flames. In cities like Paris and London, medieval scholars and jurists debated these principles in cloistered halls, shaping the legal systems that would govern for centuries to come. This legacy is evident today. When you see a gavel used by a judge or read about inheritance laws,